Welcome back. In the last episode, we talked about capacity, how to know when you are at the limit, and how to expand safely. Today, we are talking about a step a lot of founders rush into and then regret. That is delegation. Hiring, outsourcing, getting help. Done well, delegation gives you leverage. Done badly, delegation creates mistakes, delays, reputation damage, and sometimes more work than before. So, today's episode is about delegating without losing control by creating structure, not hope. Let's start with why delegation fails so often. Delegation usually fails for one simple reason. People try to delegate from memory. They don't have documentation, they don't have checklist, they don't have quality standards. So, what happens? The helper guesses, and when the helpers guess, quality becomes inconsistent. Then founders get frustrated and conclude hiring doesn't work, outsourcing doesn't work, people can do it like I do. But the real problem isn't the person, it's that the process was never transferable. You can't delegate chaos, you can only delegate a system. Now let's talk about the purpose of delegation because it's not just saving time. Delegation is about freeing your attention for high value work. High value work looks like improving your offer, strengthening your system, marketing thoughtfully, making strategic decisions, and building important customer relationships. If you spend all day on low level tasks, the business don't evolve. It just runs. And businesses that only runs eventually get stuck. Delegation protects evaluation and evolution. Now, what should you delegate first? Most founders delegate the wrong things first. They try to delegate critical work too early, work that requires judgment, creativity, or deep customer understanding. That's risky. So instead, start with low risk, repeatable tasks. Tasks like scheduling, data entry, formatting, basic customer support, editing, simple admin tasks. These tasks have three traits: they happen frequently, they don't require deep judgment, and they can be checked quickly. Delegating low risk tasks creates immediate breathing rooms, and that breathing room gives you the ability to think. Now, here's the rule that makes delegation safe: document first. Never delegate a task you cannot describe clearly. Before you delegate, create four things: a checklist, an example of good output, a clear definition of done, and common mistakes to avoid. Because if you cannot document the task, one of the two things is true. Either the task is too vague or you don't understand it well enough yet to hand it off. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's actually empowering. Documentation is not extra work, it's the work. Because documentation is what turns business from you doing things into a process that it can be repeatable. Now let's talk about how to hire or outsource safely. Here is a simple sequence that prevents most delegation mistakes. Step 1: define the task. Be clear on the outcome you want. Don't just say, help me with marketing. Say things like, create and schedule 5 posts per week using this template. Step 2: create the checklist. Steps plus quality checkpoints. Step 3: do a small trial. One task, not a full role, not a big monthly contract, just one clear task as a test. Step 4: review quickly. Give clear feedback, not vague criticism. So instead of this isn't good, say here is what's missing, here is what to change, here is what done looks like. Step 5: repeat. Consistency comes through repetition. People don't learn your standard in one try. And here's the key: don't hand someone your entire business, hand them a small piece with clear boundaries. Now, a lot of founders fear delegation for one reason: quality loss. And that fear makes sense because your reputation is fragile. But the solution is not micromanagement, the solution is checkpoints. Micromanagement is emotional, checkpoints are structural. Here are simple quality control methods that work without hovering. Review the first three outputs closely. Then loosen your involvement once the standard is met. Create a standard template so outputs naturally look consistent. Require a self check before submission, meaning the helper verifies against the checklist before sending it to you, and define what needs approval and what doesn't. Not everything should need your approval, or you are still the bottleneck. Good systems reduce the need for supervision. That's the goal. Less supervision without lower standards. Now, let me tell you one of the hidden benefits of delegation. Delegation reveals weak process. If a helper can't do the task, it often means the steps were unclear, the standards were never defined, or you've been improvising without realizing. And that's actually good news because it forces you to clarify. And clarify is what makes scale possible. Not talent, not hustle, clarity. All right, let's warm this up. Delegation doesn't fail because people are incapable. Delegation fails because founders try to hand off chaos and call it a job. So start with low risk tasks. Document first, use trials, build checkpoints instead of micromanagement, and treat delegation as a way to strengthen your system, not just reduce workload. In the next episode, we'll talk about automation, what to automate first and what not to automate yet. Because automation can create leverage, but automation without clarity creates chaos. Season 4 is about building reliable scale. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.